live,
Perfect.
laugh.
Approaching the ring from Staten Island, New York, weighing 177 pounds, Vinny Pacifico. How's it going, everybody? This is Daniel. This is Live, Laugh, Lariat. We are joined today by I would say the most energetic man in professional wrestling, Vinny Pacifico. How are you doing tonight?
Love that. Doing great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Excited to get into a lot of things, but before we get into those, where can everybody find you on socials? I know that you're pretty active on there.
Vinny Pacifico 1 is my Twitter. Best one to go to because I have everything on there. Instagram is Vinny Pacifico. That one's fun too. Got a lot of really fun stuff on there. And Facebook is Vinny Pacifico. And TikTok, I'm just getting on recently. Vinny Pacifico as well. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Awesome. And do you have any energy drinks that you recommend for people before we get started?
I do. G Fuel, the brand that sponsors me. Yeah, definitely G Fuel. Non-biased, but
Yeah.
they are probably the healthiest energy drink out there. If you look at the ingredients, it's all fruit in their stuff, pretty much. I've been addicted to energy drinks for a long time. Problem that a lot of wrestlers have, of course.
Yeah,
We always travel, but I would say that the best effects I've had in terms of health, definitely G Fuel, and I'm very happy they sponsored me. When I first started this energy drink thing in wrestling, it was sort of just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I started involving energy drinks in my in-ring, my character. Because what I do, I drink energy drinks. So I said, all right, why not include this in my wrestling? So I did. And I would just come out with any drink that I had, anyone from a store, whatever. And eventually I had a match in Oregon against the amazing Chris Brady. He's phenomenal. If you don't know who he is, check him out, Chris Brady. We had a really good match. Somewhere in the match, I used an energy drink and had this whole really cool spot. And once that footage was released, it went viral. A week later, Bang sent me a contract. That was really, really that put me on. That I would say put me on the map in terms of just like this is it. This is a major brand sponsoring an independent wrestler. That doesn't happen often. You see so many guys who want sponsorships and came out of nowhere. I didn't believe it at first. I was driving to the gas station. I see that email. I'm like, no way, off. And then I go back to my drive again. And then I go back and I'm like, it has a signature at the bottom, phone number. I'm like, okay, signed, done. A few months later, that had to expire because of they were going through a lawsuit with a different brand. So the next day, G Fuel signed me. And G Fuel is a very fun brand. They are very interesting. They got a lot of really cool stuff going on, and they're investing a lot into me. So I'm very lucky with that. And it's really cool because they are a gaming, anime, superhero type Marvel energy drink. And now that's involving me with that. So now I'm having all these other fans from other avenues hit my following. So it's really, really cool.
That's awesome. Would you say that you're like the hottest free agent if you were to hit the market in energy drinks today?
In energy drink business?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's say you dropped your contract, you'd probably be having a lot of calls.
I would say there'll be a few.
Yeah.
There would be a few calls. I would say, yeah, there would be. Right. I think I do a lot in terms of promoting not only myself but the brand that I work with. And I do a lot of these funny skits, and they've gotten me a lot of success. They bring in 90,000 views per one almost. Some of them are less, of course, but like when they really are good, they get like 90K, 80K. And so I would say that any brand that would have me on would benefit having me champion them.
Awesome. as far as sponsorships goes, are there any other avenues? Like, is there any like, let's just throw it out there for the universe, any like shoe brand, any other sponsors that you have your eye on? If you like
Well, I
had a
worked with Champion before. I did like a Champion collab with G Fuel. Champion, right? See,
yeah,
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 I did something with them. That's something that we could work with. But Champion was I did like a commercial and a shoot with Champion X G Fuel. There are other things that I'm working with though in terms of like other brands. Can't say yet.
okay,
But there's a lot, and there's been so much in the works, and I gotta say I'm blessed. It's just
yeah,
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see all of this happening. Because as a wrestler, you just want to wrestle and do all these cool things and just go,
mm,
go, 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 go. But when you get hit with brand deals, hit with like possible movies that might be happening,
yeah,
a lot of really other avenues. I was just in LA recently for a premiere that I'm working with. So just a lot going on. And it's
yeah,
like things branch out. Wrestling will always be number one.
yeah,
And wrestling will always be number one. But I don't mind having other opportunities, of course, help the
yeah,
brand. Power Punch,
absolutely.
Vinny Pacifico is the brand.
Yeah.
And you want the brand to grow. You want the brand to expand any way possible.
Mm. So the brand, I would say it's at a pretty all time high. Where does the brand start though, as far as you and wrestling go? Like, is there a moment that like kind of solidified your fandom? Yeah. At what point did in your life, like as a kid, like everybody has that moment where they first see wrestling or they're first kind of drawn in. What was that moment for you?
So my first time seeing wrestling was SmackDown versus Raw '07. Seeing the Boogeyman, Rey Mysterio. Once I saw that, I was like hooked. It's just like as a person who's just you're watching a sporting event and you see people with masks and dope face paint. You're like, what is
Yeah.
this? So that's how it started out for me. Then it branched out to being a John Cena fan, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and then once I really was hooked by Brian Danielson.
Yeah.
That's when I really wanted to be a wrestler. That's the person who made me want to become a wrestler. And once that happened, I was just like all about it. I was playing football in high school
Mhm.
as a quarterback, and I was like, Dad, I just want to wrestle. Listen, like I love football. I'm a very good quarterback. I'm 5'8", but I was still a good quarterback. I would
Yeah.
run, roll out, hit. I was a very good running quarterback. I was very, very
Mm.
fast at some point. And I was just like, it's like, let's go. Like I'm wrestling now. Started wrestling school. Started that Ring of Honor dojo, and that was. I'm very grateful for everything that happened in my career.
Mhm.
Right, every single thing that happened in my career, every person I met, every single obstacle I've had was just a privilege. It led to something different. 2021, I would say, was the start of all the really big things. Like before that was the growing,
Yeah.
getting better, having some big matches, getting really excited and stuff like that. But once 2021 hit and I wrestled EC3, everything from there went up. Like once I wrestled him, I knew I could hang with the best.
Oh yeah.
And it was from EC3. And then after that match, I had a match with Rocky Romero, then a match with um, Matt Seidel and Mike Bennett, and all these matches were getting better and better and better. And I'm like, okay, now we're hitting a stride here. Now we're doing something really good. And EC3 pulled me aside and said, Vinny, you have the it factor. I just don't know what it is. Keep working hard and we'll keep whatever, stay in touch. And then eventually him and my buddy JC called me and said, Vinny, you need to add some stuff to your character because I was younger, so I was like kind of bland. I didn't really have much
Yeah.
of a character at the time. I was just like, I was goofy, I was funny, I did what I was doing, but I wasn't like I didn't have like a set brand.
Yeah.
Like Power Punch. Power Punch is a whole. Well, I have a whole army with me now at this point.
Mhm.
But at the time, I said you got to add the energy drinks to your character, add your energy, add your spunkness to you. And I was like, all right, and I started doing it, and I started coming out with I started coming out with Power Punch using the backwards hat, the
Yeah.
white hoodie, zip up hoodie, and new gear, and the energy drink in my hand. And right from once I put a drink in my hand, everything changed. It's crazy to say that. It really is crazy, but once you put a drink in my hand,
Yeah.
everything changed. And so yeah, it started going up, 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 up. The opportunity started hitting, and then sponsorship came along, and that's how I was put on the map, because now I'm bringing in other fans,
Mhm.
and now it's like, okay, this is something different. You know what I mean? Now I have
Yeah.
a brand with over 8 million followers altogether sponsoring me. So
Mhm.
it's like, how many avenues can I take? You know what I mean? They're gonna have me doing like a possible ad for their next product they announce. So
Mhm.
there's just so many avenues that I could go with this. And
Yeah.
like I said, wrestling will always be number one. But but also everything correlates. You know, everything works together. When you say, like,
Yeah.
entertainment, drinks, sponsorships, brands, it's all together. It's all me. It's Power Punch, but
Mhm.
it's all works together.
Yeah, of course. So you've kind of outlaid your career as it goes. Let's jump back a little bit to your first started training.
Mhm.
What was that initial training like for you? Or where did you go? And
Cheeseburger, Delirious, Will Ferrara, Rhett Titus, John Gresham, Joey Mercury are all people who really were training me, and
Mhm.
that's where I was just like growing so much. That's where, like, they challenged me in the best way possible. Amazing people, all of them. Every one of them, great human beings, loving, kind, respectful, and all just want to make wrestling better.
Mhm.
And that is where I grew. Like, I would tell you what, Cheeseburger is probably hands down one of the greatest trainers there are in wrestling.
Mhm.
I learned so much from him, whether it's lucha, Japanese, every style of wrestling there is. He's a master at it, and you'll
Yeah.
have other people come in from around the globe and train. Like Sumi helped train me also, and she was phenomenal to work with.
Mhm.
He'll have other people come into school, and it's a never ending circle of just growth and building and just being friendly together. You want to build together. Like, I don't believe in having egos and cutting others down, hurting other people. I believe in just growing together, because
Yeah.
we can all eat at the table.
Of
It's
course.
never just. So yeah, traveling with Ring of Honor was a very good experience for me. I got to travel with Ring of Honor, work for Ring of Honor, do these really cool cities and states. Texas, I hit three different. I was we did like a loop in Texas. It was San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas, where I got to work for Ring of Honor. And then we did 2 weeks later, we did a trip in Miami, and it was the Rocks High School. No, the Rocks College basketball arena we wrestled in. And
Oh,
that was
cool.
a really cool moment for me.
Yeah.
And it was all, and then also, where else was that? Where was that trip? It was Miami was the first night, and then second night was Lakeland, Florida.
Mhm.
And I don't know how I remember this, but I remember a lot of dates and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, those are the, like, and then we did like a Philly tour, a Midwest tour. So like there's so many tours and so many people I was around that I just grew and learned from, that it was just like never ending just growth.
Yeah.
And you bring that on the indie scene, you bring that wherever you go, and just grow as you teach people along the way. I believe always give back, always
Yeah.
give to the next person. You know what I mean? You don't want to just know this for yourself. You want to help people out, because
Yeah.
some person might, and I feel like anyone can learn from anyone,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
So what are some of your favorite matches from those tours from that time?
Oh my gosh, let me think. Brian Ash was one of the funnest ones I ever had at Ring of Honor, because we just like, that was a very big growth match for me. I learned so much from that match. Um, what else did I like? What other matches? There were so many that I was just hard to remember. Me and Brian Johnson was really fun. Brian Johnson, another amazing worker, love him
Mhm.
to death. Um, who else? Future of Honor was me and Cheeseburger once. That was a really fun one. That was in PA, I believe, or New
Mhm.
Jersey. But those are my favorite ones from Ring of Honor and Future of Honor. And another one I enjoyed was there was just so many of them that it was just hard to remember. My favorite ones, but definitely Cheeseburger and Brian Johnson, and tag team matches with Ryo and Dante Caballero and all these guys,
Mhm.
Ken Dixon. These guys were awesome, and just again, we were also passionate about wrestling and just doing things the right way. So it was just a never ending. It was never ending learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah.
So, does Ring of Honor, does that lead up to 2021, or where are you at? Like, when do you kind of?
Okay, Ring of Honor. I stopped kind of. I branched out after Ring of Honor at like 2019. Then from there, I did a bunch of really sweet indies. I believe I did an Evolve tryout, and then went to NXT for a taping, I believe. Um, That was 2019. Wrestled Gangrel, and then COVID happened, right?
Yeah.
Was 2020. COVID happened. I don't remember. 2019, right? Wait,
Yeah.
no.
2020 was COVID. Yeah.
Okay, so 2019, boom, 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 all these indies, NXT, and then COVID happened, right?
Yeah.
COVID, I wrestled here and there as much as I could. Um, enjoyed growing with my wife, enjoyed family time, enjoyed again. When I travel, I don't have much of that. My wife I'm always with, but like my family time, I don't really have.
Yeah.
So I try to prioritize that. And then back from COVID was when I had a match for TWE against Jaden Newman, which we had a really dope match.
Oh
Love
yeah.
Jaden Newman, by the way.
He's great.
And ever have him on here?
We have, yeah.
Definitely have him on again if you can, or he's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that was EC3. That's where everything went up, right?
Yeah.
That's where everything started going up. And so then now we're 2020, 2021, just growth and just constant character work. And again, me and EC3 would sit hours in this like gym and just go over promos. And that's why I'm so promo driven now. You know what I mean? Like, again, I could wrestle. We all know this. But if you could cut a promo too, it's just so important to wrestling. I like to offer everything, not just wrestling or promos. I like to offer wrestling, promos, character work, comedy, serious, everything. Everything.
Yeah, I think promo is one of the big things that's missing from the independent scene because it can be so hard to tell stories on the independent. But I think promos add that layer of they make you care about the match. Like you can show up, I have no idea who you are. You wrestle, it's a good match. Who cares? If you make a story where I care about this match, I'm not only going to show up, I'm going to buy a ticket the next time I see you. I'm going to buy a ticket the next show. I think promos are invaluable, and there's some people like the more like you do very creative promos, like the people that learn like you take aside from like NWA in the 80s where you're just behind a wall and you're just yelling. Like if you find a way to make it unique and make it your own, that's how you grow. And it seems like that's been a big factor for you. It's just kind of putting your stamp on traditional wrestling staples.
Yeah, I like to have fun. I like to help people out with like collabing with promos too. You know what I mean? And that's something that I really, like to do. It's just I like to give back and help people out on the indie scene. So I try to like always push people to do promos. Like anyone asks me for advice to say, "Oh, I'll do promos," but like people have asked me, "Hey, Vinny, I want to grow, or can we do a promo together?" And I'll do one. I'll do it. And these promos do so well, so it helps people out in getting their name out there if they're newer or whatever. But I just always say, like, cut promos, just don't stop doing content, because this generation is a content generation.
Yeah.
Wrestling, everything you want to do is just content. Every business you have is content, because social media is everything. And you got to be a pro at it. You got to be better at it. You got to be able to every week, every single day. Like you got to. Matt Cardona made a post. It was something about like, treat social media like it's your life, something like that. And it is.
Yeah.
Social media,
he's like, if you're not rich and if you're not
posting
like every day, you need to be posting every day because your job depends on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's that. I see so many guys who just don't even use social media. They have like 100 followers, they don't even use it, and they're wrestling. And I'm like, you got to do this. I understand it's a pain in the ass. I get it, but it's just something that you got to offer people something else other than just seeing at a show. They want to know about you. They want to see about you. They want to know, what you're like, what you enjoy, what your life is like. And if they can't see that, they'll scroll to the next. Just scroll. It's a very competitive business. I love it. I love working hard and I love helping other people, but it's very competitive, and you got to just always be in the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah, I think something people fail to realize is that there are so many wrestlers out there.
Too many.
I'll see like a wrestling poster from like where I'm like based in like the East Coast, North Carolina area. I see a poster around here. I know everybody on it, but you see a poster from like a state away. I'm just like, I know maybe 2 people on there. There are so many wrestlers. There are so many people that can take your job. The promoters scrolling through. It's like you've got to keep yourself at the forefront if you want to keep your job.
That's what I say. And every week I'm doing promos. Every week I'm doing different content. Even G Fuel's giving me new ideas to do stuff because they want to incorporate new products.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I like that way of thinking. So there's gonna be constant new content on my end. with energy drinks, without energy drinks, just everything in general, just everything correlates, and your face needs to be always seen. That's the most important thing. If your face is everywhere, people won't forget it.
Yeah. I have a question regarding energy drinks in matches. You drink. Has there ever been like a moment where you're like, I should not have drinking this energy drink because I have 10 more minutes left in my match?
No, no.
Do you attribute that to G Fuel and them being next level?
I've never had an issue with the energy drink. I'll be honest. I've never had an issue where I said, "Oh wow, I shouldn't have drank this." Actually, no. Yeah, no, never an energy drink. But I did have Indian food before a match once, and I was like, "Wow, why did I?"
Yeah.
Don't eat Indian food before a match.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
I had chicken tikka masala, and I ate it before the match, and I was like, "Why would I eat this before a wrestling match?" And it destroyed my stomach. But other than that, like, if I have a drink during the match, before the match, I'm fine.
Yeah. Awesome. So you've had a lot of really cool opponents. Like almost every match of yours that is on YouTube is somebody that you know. Who are some of the favorite opponents that you've had the privilege of wrestling in your career so far?
Number one, Rocky Romero, 100%. I would say Rocky Romero is the best wrestler in the world. Underrated as can be, and he deserves everything he got. I think he's phenomenal. We had a match, and it was one of the most rewarding matches I've ever had because I realized that I could hang with the best. Matt Sydal, also love him to death. He's a great guy. Red Titus is another one who I really enjoyed working with. Cheeseburger, like I mentioned before, he's phenomenal. EC3 again, I would say EC3 is very underrated. He's a phenomenal wrestler. As you know, WWE fans, whatever. Oh, whatever. No, EC3, very very good wrestler, and I will stand by that. He could go, and we went a few times. And Ace Romero is somebody who's really really good too. He is where he deserves to be. He's really good. I've had so many cool opponents, and they're just, these people are really really good at what they do, and then I would say that they're in the spot they're in for a reason. And Bobby Fish was a fun one too. We've had a few matches, and Bobby Fish could go. He is a fighter. So we've had some really fun stuff. Yeah, that if you haven't seen me and Bobby Fish, check that one out. It's on IWTV. That one was a tough one, and that one was like very hard hitting. And yeah, I enjoyed that one very much too. It was unique.
Awesome. Yeah. I saw that you have a match coming up against Paul London, which
oh my gosh,
I think Paul London is so underrated. Like I loved him as a kid, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
Yep, I agree. I think that match will be phenomenal. If you're in the area, go there, be there if you can. It'll be in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, at the Mecca, they call it. That match is gonna be something special. I think I've known Paul for many years. Paul is a great guy, and I think this one will be very, very special.
Oh yeah. Like I think for at least for me, like I kind of saw him on SmackDown, and then I didn't realize that he kept wrestling with like Ring of Honor thing. But
he's a legend.
Going back now and seeing not only what he's done on like a TV scale, but what he means to the indies, and just like how relevant he's still maintained himself to be. It's really awesome.
I would say the same thing. He's phenomenal, and he's killing on the indies too. Everywhere he goes, that's the thing about him. Everywhere he goes, he works so hard, and that's something that I could always. I love that. That's something that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me inside to see how hard people work, even no matter what level they're at. If they're at the best level, the lowest level, no matter where they are, they make the most of every opportunity.
Yeah, somebody that reminds me of that. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Drew Hood. He's locally to North Carolina.
Heard the name.
Yeah, I think you guys would have some fun matches, but he is always trying to find ways to elevate himself, whether it's promos. Some people say he's the best in the state. Definitely somebody you should check out. And if you're a promoter listening to this, book that match because I think it'd be great. But there are a lot of people that are working hard. Drew Hood is one of those. I just want to give him a shout out. You mentioned Rocky Romero. And everybody knows he works with New Japan. You had an opportunity to wrestle. You're wearing the shirt for it right now. What was the Japanese experience like for you?
The best experience of my life. then going to Japan later that year last year was just
Yeah.
phenomenal. But just I would say New Japan was just the best night of my career. I would say like that culminated everything for me. In that match, I had the G Fuel. I drank and I hulked up. The crowd
Yeah.
went nuts. The whole it was just everything was just perfect that night. And I tell you what, Rocky believed in me, and I think I did my best to just give him my best, you know. And I mean, and New Japan also they gave me the opportunity to do what I do, and it was just like I could not have pictured a better night that night,
Yeah.
you know. And to get to do what I do in front of a crowd like that on the platform it was on, and also be able to use my character to the fullest, it was just a
Mm.
beautiful opportunity, and I am blessed for that.
Yeah. Especially like with the way that Japanese crowds are. Of course, a lot of the wrestling's very serious,
Mhm.
very like kind of story driven to like almost like a dramatic sense. But to be able to kind of see that this doesn't just work for these crowds, it works everywhere. That's got to be cool too.
Yeah, and it was a very serious match too. But at the
Yeah.
like I kept it serious. You know, I
Yeah.
kept it where it needs to be. Like it can't. The character could be goofy, the drinks could be goofy, but I made it like, nah, this is my
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's where I like with certain matches, I know when to pull it back a little bit and go
Yeah.
hard. You know what I mean? Like go harder, not and like less character, more wrestling. You
Yeah.
know, I know my audience, so
Mhm.
it's like certain shows like it's more of a fun crowd. You know, we'll have fun, we'll drink it, we'll have fun with it. You know, but certain
Yeah.
matches I won't even use the drink if I don't need to. You know, I'll just less character, more just in ring ability and just showing what I could do best. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
you have to know your audience.
Of course.
I could go to, for example, say PWG, and I pull a drink out, they could not even give a shit, and it's just like
Yeah.
whatever. But or I could just wrestle my ass off, pull the drink out, pop it 1 second in the match, and do a cool move,
Yeah.
and hit a real cool pin. That's how you would use that in a match like that, in
Yeah. Of
at
course.
a place like that. Like you don't overdo it with the character
Yeah.
stuff. You use it to an extent. Boom,
Mm.
next.
Yeah.
That's what I personally believe. Like certain shows, I know when to really amp it up with the drinks or lower it with the drinks and just do more of my in ring stuff and
Yeah.
other character stuff that I need to do.
Yeah, definitely. Always important when to know when to tell the difference between those scenarios.
Yep.
What was it like for you wrestling in Japan?
Oh, I, that was just a like I'm trying to go back. I'm working things out going back, and it's
Yeah.
like things are in the works, and like I loved it. I loved
Mm.
it. I say if you have the chance to go and just soak it all in, and enjoy every minute of it because it's just a beautiful. First of all, it's a beautiful place to be. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous, but also the wrestling, the fans have so much passion for it. They love it.
Yeah.
They see they enjoy what they're watching. Some wrestling fans in the states. Who are you? Who are like
Yeah.
they're great fans of
Yeah.
something, but these people, the people in Japan are supportive. They if they don't know you, they want to know you.
Yeah.
They'll give you a chance to show them who you are. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it's really really cool how the fans are different and the fans are just so supportive and loving of pro wrestling and just want
Yeah.
base, you know. But also the wrestlers are amazing. The talent is just bar none, probably the best in the world. I had the opportunity to really just do everything that I do and do it
Mhm.
to the best of my ability, and I did, and I'm very grateful for that. And I actually, funny story, I had 3 bowls of ramen in one sitting because the ramen out there is just the best, and I'm a big
Yeah.
ramen, so that's all I'll say.
Yeah. So the food's good. Did you do any training while you were over there?
No, I was only there for like 3 or 4 days, I think 5 days, and it was like only one. They didn't have much training going on while I was there.
Yeah.
I wanted to, I asked, but I was there like 4 days, 4 or 5 days, and it was like shows. That's it, and they're long shows. But that's about it. Yeah, so no training at this time, but I'm gonna go back and probably get some shows and then train also and
Yeah.
really get some stuff going. I really enjoyed the fans actually ate up the energy drink stuff. You
Mhm.
know, that was something that I really noticed that like it was different for them. It's very different. It is a very different thing. And they were like, "Get the drink, get the pointing at the drink." It was great.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Awesome. So you've done a lot in your career. leading up to this, Japan's definitely like a checklist for any wrestler. What are your goals for, let's say, the next year, and then let's say the next 5 years? Like, where do you want to see yourself at the end of 2024, and then
I wanna be
2029?
sorry. I wanna be
Yeah.
on TV. I want to keep creating an empire with Power Punch, the brand. I wanna keep, I just wanna keep growing, you know, I wanna be on TV a lot more, even get signed. There's a lot of things that I am in the process of doing. Like I'm going to France later this year. I
Mhm.
want to keep hitting countries. You know, keep hitting countries. Keep building my name. Keep. I have another company that I'm gonna be working with very soon. That's not energy drink driven, but in that in a it's a fun industry to be in. I can't get
Mhm.
into it, but it's something that's huge and something that I don't think there's any wrestler involved in it. You
Yeah.
know, so it's something different. Obviously grow with G Fuel. Obviously keep growing the energy drink stuff. You know, get that T-shirt deal out. Oh, cat's out of the bag. But yeah,
Yeah.
getting a G Fuel making me a T-shirt. I think the first ever T-shirt for a talent they've ever made. How
Yeah.
many? You know, I'm very blessed for that opportunity. That's something that's very very big. I feel like. Yeah, just keep growing. You know, keep getting this brand to be what it is. Keep getting it bigger than what it is now, and keep working. Um, and I also want to keep traveling the world. Like I love this shit, and it's everything to me. Um, yeah, and a dream match that I want to happen this year, Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey want to wrestle. Sammy Callahan. Um, there are a lot of people I want to wrestle, but
Yeah.
yeah, this year, Sammy Callahan, Mike Bailey, and Matt Cardona. Those are the three names that I want to wrestle ASAP.
Awesome. Those will all be great matches. You mentioned three big names. Who are some names in wrestling that you think more people should know about?
Good question. I love being able to give the opportunity to shout somebody out. Let's see. Uh, pardon, because I want to just mention people that I really like, you know, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to think.
Yeah, take your time.
Um, I definitely feel like people should really check out. Um, sorry,
No, you're fine. The power of editing.
I
Nobody
have
wants.
people. Yeah, yeah, perfect. And I have people in my head too. That's the thing. I have like
Yeah.
a lot of people that I want to just mention. Um, Definitely Boom Harden. He's great. Ryan Mooney is phenomenal. Eli Isom, amazing. Rhett Titus, I say, is literally one of the best wrestlers going today. Also,
Yeah.
I know that I say a lot of people are really, really good, but I wrestled Rhett many times, and every time me and Rhett Titus wrestle, it's an amazing match, and it's
Mm.
like I after the match, I'm like, wow, this dude's so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jade Newman, of course. Rolando Perez is just also on another level. I think he is. He's with NWA, but I wrestled him twice, and I could say both times I was extremely impressed. So I
Yeah.
think there's be where he is, and yeah, Rolando Perez, Eli Isom from Ring of Honor, phenomenal talent. He is. I've had many matches with him in training on
Mhm.
shows. He's just phenomenal. Ryan Mooney is phenomenal. Ryan Mooney is different. If you don't know, if you want to see something different, check him out.
Okay.
And Batitis.
Awesome. Um, and then we always like to wrap it up with this question.
Love
But
it.
what is the weirdest DM that you've ever gotten?
What?
The weirdest DM that you've ever gotten?
Oh my gosh. The weirdest DM I've ever gotten. Let me think. The weirdest DM I've ever gotten was a company reaching out to me, asking me. Okay, so I had a company reach out to me about a booking that I never confirmed,
Uh,
mentioned anything. I never even knew it was a thing,
mhm.
and it was the wrong Vinny that they were talking to. But I don't know how it got to my email or how it got to
Mhm.
my DMs or whatever it was sent. But they were like, "Oh hey, you know, we're waiting for you to confirm and waiting for you to be here," and I'm just like, "What?" And I'm looking at it, and it's like spelled words spelled wrong. They're telling me they mentioned the price that was discussed between them, that whoever it was they booked, that
Yeah.
it wasn't me, and I had this whole thing of like a flight and pay and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I've never. I was just weird to sit there, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be here, and I just what? That was probably the weirdest thing because it was just so random. I was sitting in the gym. This is like a Monday, and they're telling me about a Monday booking that I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
at. What? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But yeah, that was just a really funny one that happened. It was a while ago. I don't remember what company it was or who else, but it was just like a really wacky situation that I had to like no, this is not. I've never even got a DM or email from you, so I don't know what this is about.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, wrong Vinny. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been great. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Where can everybody find you on all social medias one more time?
One more time, of course. Vinny Pacifico 1, my Twitter, best one. Vinny Pacifico on Instagram, Vinny Pacifico on Facebook, and Vinny Pacifico on TikTok.
Awesome. Well, check them out. Get yourself a G Fuel. Is there a favorite flavor that you can recommend for people to try?
Go on gfuel.com, use code PowerPunch. Look out for that t-shirt deal to be dropped very soon. Favorite flavor G Fuel. Favorite G Fuel flavor tub would be hype sauce. And favorite G Fuel flavor can would be the berry bomb.
Awesome.
Delicious.
Well, check those out. Be on the lookout for his t-shirt that is dropping, and check him out if he's in a town near you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.